Hello, beautiful people. Good morning. I hope you guys are good. And let me know in the chat if you guys can hear me or not. Is my audio and my stream clear or not? Let me know in the chat. Thank you for letting me know. And today I'll start our analysis with crypto. It's been a long time that I'm not talking about crypto because crypto was just in a consolidation for the last couple of days. There was nothing much happening to talk about like this consolidation. I'm on daily chart on Ethereum. This consolidation it started on Friday, April 21st, and it lasted till like 11th May. So in between that time period, that was our dealing range, okay? That from this swing high to this swing low, price was just consolidating inside this range, going up, taking orders from our fair value gap, and then coming back down, okay? So when it was doing that, I was waiting for a setup to show up. I was waiting patiently rather than forcing any setup, and you can see a beautiful breaker block formed on our daily chart. Okay, so I shared the analysis with my paid members, my paid YouTube members, with them when this candle was here, just touched the breaker block. That's the time I shared the analysis. And if I drop down onto like 5-minute chart, you can see that how beautifully I got like 2 hours from this trade, how beautifully price dropped, okay? And it matches with our model. If you don't know what model I'm talking about, you can go on my YouTube channel. You can check. There's a video that goes by deep inside macro. There I shared with you a breaker block model, okay? And I told you that if you see a breaker block, you will also see that it forming with some other confluences. What other confluences? Like relative equal lows. That's our model. And you can see that price generated relative equal lows here, 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 and price cleared everything out, and by respecting our daily breaker block on Ethereum, okay? So I'm still expecting a run lower below 1783, okay? Below these two lows, I'm expecting a run there, and a good scenario for a reversal would be from this breaker block, from this daily breaker block. If price is still coming down, okay, then we can expect to see a run into this daily breaker block again. And you can clearly see how beautifully price respects breaker block on Ethereum, on crypto. What do you see here? Lower low, new lower low, breaker block, price came down, hit the breaker block, then expanded higher. We had higher level of targets. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the daily chart, the price action that's happening right now, okay? I'm talking about that. And here, that's our dealing range. What is a dealing range? I think ICT talks about it in YouTube, but I found that in his private mentorship. So for that, you will have to watch ICT's private mentorship videos. It's available everywhere on Telegram. You can get it, okay? So that's our dealing range from high to this low. Premium is here. Price came up. Okay, there was no breaker block inside. Price came up, hit this fair value gap, dropped down, also generated breaker block, two equal highs. Price took it, cleared it out. That's our swing though, okay? So without a swing, there's no breaker block. That's our swing. Two candles right next to this candle, which are lower. So that becomes our breaker block. That becomes our swing, okay? Swing high. So swing high. These down close candles becomes our breaker block, and you can see the price closed in candles body below, came back up, retested this breaker block, then dropped, okay? On daily chart, that's a very small movement. It's only one candle, but if you drop down to 50-minute, you will see another breaker block inside of this breaker block, okay? When price came up, hit this breaker block again, it generated another breaker block here, okay? You can consider this higher high or this higher high. You can consider any of these higher high, and you can see that this higher high, if I'm considering this, I was considering this higher high though. So this downward candles becomes our breaker block. Outline it, extend it out on time. Beautiful retest. That's where I entered on my live funds. There was no pushover button on my demo account though. There's no push, but I didn't push the button on my demo account, so there's nothing to show. But I entered here. My target was this low, which was the inside this inversion fair value gap. Okay, I was expecting to see a run inside this fair value gap at least. So yeah, price provided me that, and it's expanded lower. Now our drawn liquidity is below these relative equal lows, and this fair value gap that you see on 50-minute chart, okay, that's our drawn liquidity. So I'm talking to those who are already trading in crypto. If you are not familiar with the price action in crypto, okay, don't just go there based on my analysis and push the button. Okay, don't do that. Use your own analysis. I'm sharing my analysis. Okay, if price does not shows any willingness to reject from here, from this fair value gap, I know what to look next. I can target this fair value gap, okay, sorry, this week here, but you don't know that. If you are not familiar with the price action of crypto, don't just go there and trade it. But that's the drawn liquidity. That's what I'm watching. If you drop down onto the 1 minute time frame, you'll find a breaker block setup that will target this fair value gap. Okay, I'm showing this to you because me personally, I believe that crypto's price action is way more clear than what we trade. Okay, like Dow and then Nasdaq, then ES is way more cleaner than other pairs. Just avoid the consolidation. Okay, the consolidation that price does in crypto is just the manipulation. And how do you avoid that? ICT also talks about that. He talks about this in his private mentorship. This is what he sees as a distortion in time. So I'll not talk about that with you all here. I know that it's not for public to share that knowledge, but that's what it is. Okay, so that's how you skip all of this consolidation, by using dealing range, by knowing the distortion of time. Okay, these two concepts that I'm talking about, it's in ICT's private mentorship. If you look for it on Telegram, you'll find it. It's available everywhere. There, some people leaked it. So from this high, this low, dealing range inside this consolidation that you see, it's just the distortion of time. Price was waiting for a certain time to get out of this zone. How do you know it? That's our dealing range. Okay, so either price will have to go below this range, and it did here, and it presented us a setup. So inside this consolidation, we don't look for a setup. Okay, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can check it there. Okay, in ICT's private mentorship videos, it's there. And specifically, if I'm talking about, it's on ICT's 2021 private mentorship in May. Commentaries, you will find what I'm talking about, the distortion in time. That's very important. Okay, if you guys have ICT's leaked mentorship, then go in 2021 mentorship, watch May folder. Okay, May commentaries, you will find it there. So that's it. That's my analysis on Ethereum. I shared it with my private my membership people. I shared it with them. So the drawn liquidity, if I'm watching on the daily chart, the drawn liquidity is this fair value gap. Okay, this PC, that's the drawn liquidity in my eyes. That's the whole analysis from my side on Ethereum, and I'm sharing with you all because I haven't streamed for like last 2 weeks on Ethereum. I was supposed to do so, but because of the consolidation here, I didn't. So you'll also keep in mind that this level, I'm expecting a run below this relative equal low. So I'm gonna put an alert here, and when price goes below here, we'll do some more analysis as I'm trading on Ethereum. And let's go back to dollar. That's what I'm watching on dollar. On the daily chart, we are inside of this fair value gap. Okay, that's a CB, sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. That's our low, high of this fair value gap, and price is inside of it. Okay, our nearest drawn liquidity in this price action is this high, but Yeah, price can run up here, and it can also go up into this fair value gap, and as it showed already willingness to go aggressively towards the buy side. But now that it's inside this fair value gap, it's inside this CB, I want to see what price does inside here. So if I drop down to the lower time frame, the analysis will make more sense. So now I'm on 15-minute chart, and I was watching this breaker block this morning, and it failed. Okay, price closing on this body below, then it's expanded higher. As price generated like relative equal highs here. That's a swing high. That's another swing high, which are relatively equal to each other, and we do have relative equal highs here at this price fractal. A lot of relative equal highs, relative equal highs, relative equal highs. So it's very much possible for price to revisit this unfilled fair value gap from daily chart. Okay, that's a CB. If you go into your daily chart, you will see that. So where I'm expecting for price to go on dollar can run up into this liquidity zone. These equal highs, dollar can take it out, and we can expect to see a run into this consolidation range. Okay, that's our dealing range from this high to this low. Price was consolidating inside here, so I want to see price coming down and hitting this consolidation level. Okay, our sell side liquidity is resting below these lows, these two down close candles that you see, one down close candle here and one up close candle here. They both generated with relative equal low. It's very small, but if you drop down to like 3 minute or 1 minute chart, you will see a significant equal low right here. But I'm not expecting a run here, rather I'm expecting a run inside this zone. Okay, this consolidation range, that's what I'm expecting to see after price takes out this relative equal high here. Okay, so we'll keep watching dollar, and we'll see like what dollar is doing. For now, that's my analysis. So this breaker block failed, so I'm not watching this breaker block anymore. And you can see on 5-minute chart that price generated relative equal lows here. Okay, so keep in mind that that's also a order block. Okay, the last up close candle, there's also a order block. I'll keep watching it. If price don't want to respect it, okay, price will just shoot and it will take out these equal highs that price generated. But if price want to respect this order block, it will just come up, hit it, and then it will drop. Watch the mean threshold of this order block. Okay, if you are analyzing your chart with dollar, our mean threshold is here, but me personally, I want to see price coming up and clearing out these relative equal highs and then dropping. That would be ideal scenario for price to do so, but it can also reject from this order block as we have relative equal highs here. So relative equal highs means strong level of liquidity. So price can just come up, offer liquidity here, take liquidity from this order block, and then drop as we have relative equal lows and the unfilled fair value gap here on 50-minute chart. So that's the whole analysis from my side on dollar. That's something to watch. So yeah. Let's drop down to the Dow. Okay, I'm on 50-minute chart on Dow. Our as we are expecting a run lower on dollar, we can expect to see a run higher on indices. And that's the level I'm watching. That's a premium PDRA. That's a 4-hour volume imbalance. If you are trading on Dow, you can go into the 4-hour chart, and you will see a volume imbalance there. That's our volume imbalance according to the dealing range. From this high to this low, this level comes in to the premium side, premium zone. Okay. So I'm expecting to see a run into this volume imbalance today. Let's see what price does, and if price is still volatile, we can expect to see a run into these equal highs here. And if I zoom in a little bit, okay, it will become more clear to you guys. That's a breaker block here. How is the breaker block? That's a lower low. Okay, the low of this candle, watch right here, The low of this candle comes in at 33,063, and the low of this candle that took liquidity from this swing low and then this low comes in at 33,062. So price went below this low just by one tick. Okay, so that makes these up close candles as our breaker block. And it wasn't an ideal breaker block as I didn't got a chance to enter, and it was outside of our macro zone, and price activated this breaker block inside the London session. Okay, so our London low is here, and price already took the London high, and that's an unfilled fair value gap. In an ideal breaker block, you want to see price stepping into this fair value gap and then going towards the buy side. But here you can see on 50-minute chart, price left this fair value gap unfilled. So let's see what it does. I'm expecting a run into this internal buy side liquidity. Why is it an internal buy side liquidity? Because it's inside this price fractal. Okay, it's not an external buy side liquidity, it's inside of this range here, and that's a fair value gap here. That's a CB, sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency, and price did not show us any willingness to reject from here. But I'll still keep watching this fair value gap. I want to see price using this fair value gap as an inversion to hunt liquidity here. Okay, I'm not talking about any setup yet. I'm just talking about my analysis, how I'm looking at chart, how I'm building my narrative. That's how I'm doing it. If you are here for signal, you won't find any interest in that. So yeah, that's good if you are leaving. So that's my whole analysis on Dow. That's what I'm expecting on US30. Okay, and yeah, the price is coming down. Okay, rejecting from this fair value gap. Our last line of defense will be this fair value gap. Okay, price is not stopping inside this fair value gap, inside this 15-minute fair value gap. It will run lower as it generated relative equal lows here, and we do have this fair value gap from the daily chart here, so that can be our drawn liquidity. If price is expanding lower, that's not what I'm expecting though. I'm expecting to see a run higher as price generated relative equal highs yesterday, and that's a beautiful pennant though. Okay, I like to talk about the retail stuff because I was a retail trader and I was using it, but I never knew like when this pennant will show up. You can see that that's a beautiful pennant here. If you draw a trend line here like this and something like this, you will see a pennant here. Price broke the pennant and then dropping down. Okay, so that's something to keep an eye to if you are also interested in that, but I'm not keeping an eye here inside this pennant. I want to see price going above and taking out relative equal highs here. Relative equal highs, a lot of relative equal highs, but price might not want to do that as we have a news on Friday, and that news is a high impact news. Friday, May 19th at 11 a.m. we have Fed Chair Powell speaks. So he's a bitch. Whenever he speaks, we see volatility, and we know that before any high impact news, price generates liquidity. Okay, and at the high impact news, price likes to take out those relative equal highs or the liquidity that it generates as relative equal high or relative equal low. And you can see that price generated relative equal high. So price might not take it today or tomorrow. We do have tomorrow a high impact news like a high 830 unemployment claims, but yeah, I'm just sitting still. If price is presenting me a high probability setup, I will take it. If not, then I'm just gonna do tape reading. So that's the whole analysis on Dow. I hope it's clear. And on NQ, let's talk about NQ. Let's go on to our daily chart. US100 4-hour chart. There's nothing to watch on daily chart, but there's something to watch and very important to watch on the 4-hour chart. On 4-hour, okay, I didn't mention this breaker block before. is price didn't present a setup from this breaker block. Okay, now I'm hoping to see a setup from this breaker block. There's a 4-hour breaker block. Okay, higher high, sorry, lower low, new lower low. These up close candles becomes our breaker block, and you can see that price closed the candles body above. Now price coming down, consolidating inside this breaker block. It already hit this breaker block here once, retested this zone. Okay, I'm talking about the retesting. It already did it here once, twice, and when this time it dropped down, it took this low here. Okay, so that's a stop hunt on lower time frame. Once I drop down to the lower time frame, you guys will see that. And so that's what I'm watching. Okay, I'm not expecting to see price go below this breaker block. I'm expecting higher prices on Nasdaq. I'm expecting to see price coming up, clearing out this buy side liquidity. Okay, if I drop down to the hourly time frame, you will see the logic. So that's a fair value gap. Price came down, got support from this fair value gap. I was expecting to see, like yesterday, a drop into this fair value gap again and then a run higher. I traded here, okay, at this level yesterday, and I was targeting this fair value gap. There was a breaker block set up inside this price fractal, so if you're interested in that, you can drop down to like 3-minute chart and you will find a breaker block here. I was trading that breaker block. I was expecting to see a run here. Price didn't do that, so I got like one partial here, and then price came up, hit my stop loss, ran aggressively. Today I'm expecting to see a run higher from this breaker block, from this 4-hour breaker block, and that's a low. As you can see, lower low. Price cleared this relative clear liquidity from here. It will grab the liquidity, and this structure goes with our breaker block model. Okay, if you don't know what model I'm talking about, you can go on my YouTube video section. You will find there a video caption like deep inside macro and breaker block. There I set up, there I shared the whole model for the breaker block, and the model comes with equal high. Whenever I tell you guys that whenever a breaker block forms, breaker block will also show you where you can target by generating, leaving relative equal highs and relative equal lows. What do you see here? Relative equal highs. Okay, that's a strong level of liquidity, and our dealing rate is from this high to this low. Premium. Let's see, where's our OTE, optimal trade entry level. Trade entry level is somewhere here inside of these two range, 0.6 to 0.79. So that's something, if you are not familiar with the OTE that I'm talking about, that's something that ICT mentions on his private mentorship. I don't know if he's talking about this thing on his YouTube channel. I don't know that. But I watched the Market Maker series. I did heard ICT talking about this. So if you watch the ICT's Forex Market Maker series, you know what I'm talking about. The optimal trade entry. It's not one level. We consider both of these levels, 0.6 to 0.79, as our optimal trade entry. So I'm expecting a run into this equal high, and based on my analysis from the optimal trade entry, I do see a fair value gap here. So a run into this fair value gap, that's what I'm expecting. That's a failed fair value gap. That's an inversion, okay? And the folks, some newbies, they don't see it as an inversion. They tell me like, there's no point to use this fair value gap. They used to tell me, no one is telling me right now, as they saw me getting right by using this fair value gap inversion again and again. But if you are still like confused, and if you are still doubting, you can go on my Twitter feed. I uploaded a video. Okay, I'll just play it. We still have a lot of time, like 5 minutes before our macro starts. So I'll play that video for you guys to watch. That's a very important video. That's why I'm gonna play it to you. This video is from ICT's private mentorship. So hear it. I don't know if you can hear it or not. Let me fix some settings.
Even get mentioned anywhere else, okay? When we see imbalances, we don't forget them, okay, they're going to exist as long as 60 days from now, okay, or behind us. Go back 60 days. Any fair value gap or any imbalances, the algorithm will use that level again. It might act as an inversion level. It might act as a support level. It might act as a target. It remembers it, okay? So if it remembers it and recalls it and trades against it, then we should be concerning ourselves with it as well. After 60 days, that tends to expire for me.
So you guys heard Mentor, what he is basically talking about, like old fair value gap, we can use it as a target, okay? Once price goes below those levels, don't expect like we are done using it. We are not done, okay? Algo is not done. So if algo is not done, why am I getting done? I'm not getting done. So I'll target this inversion level once I see a setup inside my macros. So there's an inversion to keep in mind. So our dealing range is from this high to this low. Inside this dealing range, our optimal trade entry is here. Okay, why am I saying optimal trade entry? Because price can reverse, okay, from this zone. So that's what I'm watching, and if price is not reversing, then we know where is our buy side liquidity. Our buy side liquidity is above here, okay? So now let's look for a setup. I'll drop down to the what do you say, like lower time frame. That's a lower low, new lower low inside discount PDRS. So this up close candle, okay, right here, there you see, becomes our breaker block. So I'm not just marking a candle here as soon as I see lower low, new lower low. No, I'm not doing that. I'm building a narrative, then I'm marking the breaker block, okay? Then I'm marking the breaker block that I want to see, I'm expecting to see price can get support from. So let's see if this breaker block is supporting price. If not, our last line of defense to expect a run into this equal high, and after that into this inversion will be this fair value gap that you see here. So if price is going below this fair value gap and closing in candles body below, our whole analysis is wrong. Price will hunt this low right here. So there's no shame like when you are gonna get wrong. Okay, you also should keep that in mind, that you are not gonna be right all the time, just like I'm doing. I know I do see a breaker block here. I know price generated relative equal highs as a strong level of liquidity and you should take it out, but I'm not implementing 100% guarantee here, okay? So this fair value gap is gonna be our last line of defense to expect to see a run higher. So let's see what price does, okay? And whenever you are confused into the lower time frame, come back to 50-minute chart. 15-minute chart removes the blur, okay? If your analysis is not clear on the higher time frame, like lower time frame, 1 minute, 2 minute, 5 minute, then come to the 50-minute chart. You will see a lot of things happening inside. If you are watching this price action into like 1 minute chart, you will surely get confused, okay? You won't know from where price can reverse and all that stuff. So yeah, that's the reason I started my analysis with the higher time frame. This gray shaded box that you see, that's our 4-hour breaker block. Keep that in mind. And we are expecting higher prices. So my bias for AM session is bullish. Sergio is saying, did you check your model on crude oil? If you are interested in that, you can go ahead and do it by yourself. I know it works on every pair, but I'm not trading on crude oil. Crude oil is bullshit. If you want to look into that, you can do it by yourself, Sergio. And it works there. So to me, I think NQ is providing a better setup better price action. So I'm gonna focus on NQ rather than focusing on Dow. But drawn liquidity on Dow is this high. I'm expecting a run into this high at least. And if it's dropping, as I told you guys, our last line of defense will be this fair value gap, which is inside this breaker block. So we are inside of our macro right now. Do I see any setup on Dow? I don't see any setup on Dow, and Dow on my analysis is not clean on Dow. Okay, I'm not expecting to see a high probability setup forming on Dow. That's the reason I'm only gonna focus on Nasdaq, US100. So let's see what Nasdaq gonna provide to us. Okay, let's talk about ES. I don't talk about ES that much. On ES, our drawn liquidity is up here and above this high. Okay, so I'm expecting a run on buy side, so you can build your own narrative on ES from here, from where price can reverse from a discount zone, okay, from an optimal trade entry. So you can do that on your own. So I'm right now gonna drop down to the 5-minute chart. So our dealing range here from this low to this high, if I measure it, this low to this high, our optimal trade entry comes here, somewhere here. So let's see what price does. Okay, I don't see any setup yet. And now that I drop down to the 3-minute chart, you can see we have a fair value gap here, and this level comes in at discount. Okay, lower low, new lower low, breaker block. So I'm gonna execute not based on this fair value gap. Okay, price can reverse from this fair value gap, so I'm gonna wait and see if price is reversing from that fair value gap, and if price is doing that, I'm gonna enter once price goes above this breaker block. Okay, so you can ask me, HYDRA, if this is your breaker block, right, then price already closed the candle's body here, then why didn't you enter in this retracement? That's a very good question. Also, that's a newbie question. Look at the time is not matching with our setup. Okay, that's the reason I didn't enter anywhere here. I'm expecting for our 830 to show up. Okay, our macro to show us a setup. So I'm not gonna buy from this fair value gap. This fair value gap is in discount. A lot of people are gonna push button here, a lot of ICT trader, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna wait and see if price is getting respecting this fair value gap. If it does that, this is where I'm gonna enter. And if price is not respecting that, if price is going below and hitting this BC right here, that will work as a strong confirmation for me. We are inside of our macro. We do have target, higher high, new higher high. And if you guys are looking at dollar is just like consolidating. Okay, dollar just hit a fair value gap, BC. So if dollar is expanding higher, as I told you guys, that we have a higher target, like the relative equal highs that resting on 102.974. Okay, I'm on 50-minute chart on dollar, and I'm talking about 102. 974. So that's the level to watch, and I outlined the order block to you guys, so that's also a level to watch for dollar to reverse. If dollar is not respecting any of these levels, we can expect to see dollar run higher, and a run into like 103.060 would make sense to me for a reversal. Okay, so as you can see, this fair value gap failed. That's the reason I told you guys that I'm not gonna push the button from this fair value gap. I'm gonna wait and see if price respect this fair value gap, and you can see the price didn't. DC is asking, would you trade your breaker block model during 10 to 11 silver bullet time? Okay, I have a macro that runs from 9:50 to 10:10, so that's the period, that's the time zone I expect to see a breaker block forming. And if price is not presenting me a clean breaker block in between 9:50 to 10:10, then I can use silver bullet, okay, to trade from a fair value gap. It's not that like I only trade with breaker block. Whatever price favors me, okay, whatever price shows me, I do trade that. But breaker block, from my experience, I found that like a high probability setup. If my narrative is correct and I see a breaker block, I'll get an easy run, okay, like in 5 to 10 minutes I'm gonna be done. So that's the reason I prefer to use breaker block most of the time, but I also do take trade with fair value gap, inversion fair value gap, order block, but very less, okay? Like suppose 80% of my trades are using breaker block, other 20% are like suppose new week opening gap, new day opening gap. I share, if you don't know what I'm talking about, the new day opening gap, new week opening gap, I have a trading model that I use to trade from both of those, okay? You can go on my Twitter feed. I shared my model that I use using new day opening gap, new week opening gap. As soon as those gap opens, it presents us a trading model, okay? And minimum that it offers is like 2 hours. And I also do trade with like fair value gap. Mostly if I'm using a fair value gap, I use inversion or a BPR, because in a fair value gap I found like a normal fair value gap like a low probability most of the time, but a inversion on the other hand, I found that a high probability. As you can see, this is a failed fair value gap, okay? What is this? That's a CB. That's a negative fair value gap, and it was here to support price towards the sell side. It failed to do that, okay? So what does it become? It become a inversion fair value gap. We have a fair value gap here that's in discount, right? But price came down in this fractal right now. That the rejection that you saw in this candle is from this inversion. So compared to a normal fair value gap, inversion is way more powerful. But let's see what price does. If I look at like the 5-minute chart, from this low to this high, optimal trade entry comes in inside this fair value gap. So if price is still going lower, I can expect to see a reversal from this fair value gap, okay? It's 8:29 and I don't see any setup yet. By the way, do you guys like the background music, the one that I'm using right now? Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, I'm using it because, you know, like when I'm talking, you only hear my voice, and it sometimes gets irritating, okay? Suppose if I was watching someone like this in a stream, a background music makes it way more like, what can I say, like attentive, It makes you way more attentive. Shourab Ahmed, you don't like it? It's okay. So you can see that that's the inversion. And our inversion is here. Let's see if price gets support from this inversion or not. Our last line of defense, okay, to expect a reversal is from this fair value gap, this 5-minute fair value gap that you see. Let me see if it's visible on 50-minute. It's not visible on 50-minute. On 50-minute chart, we have an inversion here. So that would make sense if price is dropping here is our optimal trade entry. The OTE is here at this level. So I think this inversion is gonna fail to provide support for price towards the buy side. So let's just wait and see what price does. If price is coming down, okay, taking out this low, it will also hit our fair value. It will also hit our 4-hour breaker block again. So let's wait and see what price does. Don Milan is saying, please Hydra, may I have your insight on yesterday's macro between 820 to 830 if you don't mind on US100 when we are done with this macro. Okay, I'll talk about it. I'll keep that in mind. 820 yesterday's macro, okay? Did I took a trade at 820 to 830? No, yesterday I didn't took a trade at that time. But I'll talk about it once we are done with this macro. And on 1-minute chart, I don't see anything on 1 minute either. I do see this relative equal high, and I think price will run this relative equal high without providing us a setup. So if it does that, we'll just wait patiently. Okay, on 1-minute chart, if I use my X-ray vision, okay, I'm expecting a run lower into an optimal trade entry zone. That would be like an ideal scenario, as price will also hit our 4-hour breaker block again. So that's another tip for you guys. If 1-minute chart looks choppy to you as it's looking to me, use 3-minute chart. I consider 3-minute chart as a unicorn. Jamie is saying US30 and US100 melting. Yeah, we are watching it, but there's no setup, Jamie. We are waiting for a setup to show us. DJ VIP is saying, hey Hydra, are you closing down the Discord? I saw your post, all member to join Telegram. I wonder. I'm not using Discord that much. I liked it, and then again I don't like it, so I'm kind of confused in between myself. So not really. I'm not really wanna use Discord, but I'm more active on Telegram, as you guys see me. But we will see, okay, in future. I open Discord for the future. Okay, suppose there's more people are coming in my group who wanna use Discord, then I'll move into Discord. So it's like that. Sher Khan is saying, Hydra sir, as a new ICT student, should I go through ICT's private mentorship or just YouTube mentorship are enough? YouTube mentorship is enough. You don't have to go through ICT's private mentorship. I didn't. Okay, I found my model using ICT's free concept. So yeah, I'm watching ICT's private mentorship video for like last 2-3 months, and that's a lot of video, and I like to watch it. Okay, ICT says like these are old commentaries and these won't be beneficial to us right now, but me personally, I find it beneficial. The same price action repeats, and if you are getting like mentor telling you and predicting the price action, okay, the same breaker block setup will repeat again and again, the same fair value gap setup will repeat and again. So if I'm getting insight in a price action condition from the mentor himself, that yeah, that's beneficial for me. That's the reason I'm watching literally every single video that he did in his 2021 mentorship. So far I came into May, I watched like Jan, Feb, March, April, 3 months, 4 months. So yeah, for a lot of you it's gonna be boring, but for me I enjoy it. I'm studying, okay, I see it as I see ICT as a professor, and he talks like that, okay. To be honest, he does talks like way better than my university professor. I'm studying in environmental engineering, as some of you may know. So I'm in my 3rd year. Next year I'm gonna be ending my university. So that will be it for me today. For me this year, like next year, my whole study life is gonna finish next year. And whenever my professor talks to me, like I've been listening to them for like 3-4 years right now, and I find the same thing ICT doing that, okay. So to me, I don't find it boring. To me, I find it very, like everything that ICT talks about there is a gem to me. So if you're also into that, and if you don't feel bored, you can go and watch ICT's private mentorship videos. Trust me, those videos are way more beneficial than the recent thing that he's doing on the mentorship that he's doing right now on YouTube. I find his old mentorships way more beneficial. And you can see that price got support from this inversion again, okay, and price came down, hit our 50-minute fair value gap that I outlined to you guys, this 50-minute fair value gap. So now let's see inside this price fractal if price is presenting us any setup. I don't see it, okay. If I saw it, I would have mentioned it to you guys. It looks choppy to me. So me personally, if I'm trading, and I'm trading today with my live funds, so I'm just gonna skip this price action here. If you are a fair value gap trader, you can enter a trade here. Target will be these relative equal highs, but I'm not gonna do that. That's a beautiful rejection on 5-minute chart as well from this 50-minute fair value gap. Okay, I was expecting to see a run into OTE level. Robin is saying why generally most traders in the ICT community left Forex. Because me, if I'm telling about me, why am I not trading on Forex? Because my model is based on equal high and equal low, okay. I like to see equal high and equal low getting taken out by using my breaker block model. And if you go on any Forex pair, you'll see that price leave those equal high, okay. Like it uses it on Forex, algo use it as like a double bottom, double top, triple bottom, triple top, rather than taking it out. So that's the reason that I don't like to trade on Forex. I was trading on Euro USD, but I left it. I don't like this pair at all. So as I told you guys, if fair value gap is your model, you could have entered in this 50-minute fair value gap I outlined to you when price was near to this fair value gap, okay. Do you guys remember? This is the fair value gap I talked about as price was coming down to it, okay. So if fair value gap is your model, you could have pushed your button here at this candle here, but not mine. I'll just wait for my 920 to 930 macro to show up. Okay, now that price is just consolidating, I'll talk about the yesterday's macro, 820 to 830. So I'll take you guys there. Yesterday was choppy though. Where is it? 16th 16th. Yeah, I think I pushed the button at 8:30, 8:20 to 8:30. So I'm gonna use the replay mode here. So this was the whole price action, okay? And now that I'm dropping, yeah, I used this breaker block at 8:30. I took this trade, and when I started my stream, I told you guys that I was expecting to see a run into this fair value gap, but price didn't hit that. I was targeting this fair value gap. So at 8:30, what setup formed, okay? That was a high impact news move. After 8:30, the setup formed here, which was outside of my macro zone. I very rarely use I very rarely push the button after my macro, but yesterday the setup was really clean, relative equal lows here, okay? If I'm talking about that in details, when price was here, okay, it was from this range, this high, to this low. That's our dealing range. This high, this low, price came up into the premium zone, hit this order block, this bearish order block, hit it. I was watching it, higher high, new higher high. These down close candles becomes our breaker block. Do we have a target? Okay, always keep in mind, if you are looking for a setup, also look that if that setup is presenting to you a target. Here it did presented me a target, relative equal lows, and I was expecting to see a run inside this fair value gap. Okay, I was expecting to see a run higher. That happened later on, but that happened early, before price actually hit this fair value gap. So I was watching this candle, and as soon as price came down, okay, I pushed the button early before price closed candle's body below here. That's another confluence, and to understand that, you will have to spend time with chart a lot. Okay, that's a fair value gap here. So once this fair value gap failed, that's the time I entered in a trade. You guys will see me entering in a trade before price closes a candle's body below it. When I do that, okay, when I take that aggressive entry, I'm also using other confirmation like here. Once this fair value gap fails, I can use this fair value gap as an inversion. And how do I get the confidence to push the button once this fair value gap gets failed? As I have lower target here, and you can see that this inversion, this fair value gap, this BC failed here, and it turned into an inversion right now. So I was already expecting to see a run lower. So somewhere at the next candle, I pushed the button somewhere around here, and my target was this level right here. And you can see the price reversed after that without hitting into this fair value gap. Okay, price was consolidating as we expect to see a consolidation, okay, after our macro starts. And you can see the price, I took a partial below this low. So one partial that price gave me before price hit my stop loss without giving me a loss. Okay, like I entered here at this candle, took a partial below here. Me, keep in mind that I'm not using a funded trading account. So if you're using a funded account and you are taking a partial here, that's a very low reward. Okay, how do I know that? I'm recently using my forex my funded next account, and let's talk about that too. Okay, I forgot to share with you all about that. Funded next, they launched a new program that is without the time limit. Okay, just like my funded FX did. So no time limit right now in their challenges. So if you are coming down here, okay, you can buy any of this challenge in any of this platform, MetaTrader 4, MetaTrader 5. They have both available. And this challenge that they recently launched is Stellar Challenge. And here, what's the benefit from here? Okay, they share you 15% profit from the demo phases, and the first profit target is 8% in the first phase. The second phase is like 5%, just like my forex funds. They both have same. Overall drawdown is like 10%. And here, that's the most interesting thing. That's why I like funded next. The drawdown is based on the balance, not the equities. So suppose you are taking like a $500 loss in an open trade, they will not consider that as a loss. What they will consider, once you close the trade and that trade goes down to 500 in your original balance, that's what they will consider. Okay, if you're a trader, you already know that. Balance based, that's what I really like. Time limit, look at that, no time limit. Minimum trading days 5, you can meet it easily. Okay, in a month, in a 2 or 3 months, you can at least find 5 trading days where you can push the button. And the commission, okay, if you are trading on forex, which most of us are not trading, they will charge $3 per lot as a commission on forex. But if you are trading like me on Nasdaq, on ES, and on like other pairs, no commission, $0 commission, as you can see here. Commodities and $0 round lot on indices, so 0 commission on indices. That's a very nice thing. 90% profit split. Leverage 1 to 100 best. News trading, you can do that. We don't trade on news, it's for retails. Weekend holding, we are not holding. Short-term trader. Expert advisor, not using. Trade copiers, okay, if you are like, suppose you are buying a lot of funded account, you can use the trade copier. Reset discount, suppose you failed it, okay, you are still a noob and you failed it, then you can use the the reset button, and they will give you 10% discount. And look at the buying price. Okay, suppose you are going with like $50,000 account, that's what I will suggest, because suppose you were buying a $15,000 account and you passed it coincidentally, luckily, then whatever profit that you will make, it won't be that much significant. But if you're using like $50,000 account, you can see that that's like only $300, which is lower than other funded other prop firms. So yeah, me personally, I like them. That's why I got partnered with them, and you can see why I like them. Balanced brace drawdown. Okay, that's the main thing. I like them. Balanced brace drawdown, just like a real account. Okay, just like I'm trading my own life funds, there I consider the drawdown as a balanced base, and you can see it here. No time limit, so you can just let the setup present to you itself, and you can wait for the setup, show patience in the market, and you can do it by like this. Okay, also if you are interested in SUAP free account, they also have that. Basically it's like they won't cut any commission, as they are not cutting any commission from us. We are trading on indices. This challenge also comes with like 1 step and 2 step. If you are choosing 1 step, that's what I will not suggest you to do so, because suppose you pass the challenge, they will only share like what's the profit split, 90% profit split, but look at the leverage, 1 to 30, so the leverage is low here. Okay, maximum daily loss, that's also low, 3%. On the 2-step challenge, the maximum daily loss is like 5%. Here is 3%. Overall loss is 6%, so it's gonna be hard to pass if you're a beginner. So I'll tell you to go with the 2-step challenge. There you will also test like if you're ready to take a funded challenge, and they're also giving discount 10%, and they're legit. Okay, I saw people getting funded with them, the people who I trust, I saw them getting payout. So yeah, that's all about the funded next challenge, so you guys can look into that. And let's talk about our chart right now. Wow, as you can see, price did a very good run from this BC right here. And that's our breaker block though, but this breaker block is getting activated outside of my macro, so that's the reason I'm not gonna take it, but I'm gonna watch it. I was expecting to see this breaker block getting activated inside our macro. Okay, that's a small fair value gap that price generated. If price comes down and taps into this, that would be a nice place for us to enter. The stop loss can be below this breaker block here, but let's wait and see if price present us, give that to us, the entry. I'm not gonna take it on my live funds, rather I'll push the button on demo. So the trade idea is something like this: stop loss below this low, target 2R. Okay, price came down, retested this breaker block. I didn't push the button yet, so let's see at the next candle. Okay, I'm gonna enter on my demo account at the next candle. This candle I want to see where it goes. Okay, so at the very next candle I will see like if price is supporting my analysis to run higher. Yes, so let's go in, let's hop into this trade. Okay, I'm in. Wow, look at the spread on demo account. I'm using a demo account. I push the button here, trade executed here. Really? Really, bro? Anyway, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna watch with you all like if this trade paints out or not. As you can see, because of the spread it didn't execute it, so I'm just gonna hide the orders and all this stuff. Our stop loss is here. Okay, and we are targeting, we will take a partial above this high. If this trade was printing inside my macro zone, I would have taken it on my live funds, but right now I'll just tape read my entry and I'll just watch like from where price reverse and all that stuff in my demo account. That's how I use my demo account. Okay, if I'm not feeling confident enough in a setup, I won't take it on my live funds, rather I'll push the button on my demo, and that's how I'm gonna do it. So let's watch how price behaves. There's another fair value gap that price generated right here. Okay, so do you guys know about the breakaway gaps? Are you guys familiar with that? A partial is up here. Okay, if you don't like me seeing taking partial, then work on your model. Okay, that's my model, that's the model that I built for my using my live funds. And if I'm taking a partial here, basically I'm paying myself. But on funded account I'm confused. If you are not funded yet, if you are in challenge, just keep taking the partials. But if you want to take partial, okay, it depends on you if you want to take it or not. The spread on funded next is very fucking low. Okay, you can check it out. I already did, and it's very, very low. I'm telling you, like, you push the button, it's there. Okay, so as you can see, price came up, right? Took this relative equal high. Okay, it didn't took it. This candle's high is coming at 1345,455. This candle high is coming at 13,455. So these two highs are relatively equal. So price will come up and it will take it out. That's what I'm expecting to see. I still don't get it. I'm using a demo account, and what's wrong with the spread on a demo account? My trade executed here. What the hell? Anyway, we are just tape reading. We are watching if your trade idea is correct or not. Pushing a button, it's easy. Finding a setup, it's easy. Building narrative, that's what most can't do. Okay, Julie is saying, please explain breakaway. I will if I see any breakaway gap. No, you cannot link funded next account with trading view. You cannot do that. Do you guys see why I didn't push my button inside in this trade in my live funds? Because I'm not expecting this trade. I'm not considering this trade a high probability. Okay, why? Because it's outside of my macro zone. I'm tape reading it. I'm tape reading this setup. I'm watching if my idea is correct. I'm bound to my rules. Okay, I follow my rules strictly, like 90% of the time. 10% of the time, I'm a human being. Sometimes I fail, but I try to follow my rules. And my rules says don't execute before the macro zone. So our breaker block is here, okay? Why did I consider this as a breaker block? For that, you will have to go onto the higher time frame for maybe 15 minute. On a 50-minute chart, you can see that lower low, relative equal lows. These relative equal lows got taken out by price by this low here. So these up close candles, the up close candle that you see here on your chart, that's our breaker block. But you can also ask me like HYDRA, this breaker block got failed, right? Price came down, went below these up close candles. No, it's not failed. If price is going below this swing low, that's when it gets failed. Until then, we are still inside of this dealing range from this low to this high. This consolidation, just ignore it. Price is doing distortion, okay? Distortion in time, that's what it's doing. And you can see the price got support from this BC beautifully. That's what we were expecting as price left these relative equal highs here. And now it's time to take a partial here. A partial is done above these equal highs, okay? Price still didn't took it. I'm expecting to see a run into this equal high, so I'm just gonna expand it like this. I'll put my stop loss below this fair value gap, okay? I'm not expecting to see price coming all the way down again and going below the here. I'm not expecting that, so I'm gonna close my trade, demo trade to be specific. Some of you like to hear the sound demo, so yeah, I'm saying it demo. So it doesn't bother me if I'm trading on demo, okay? That's building my experience. I can trade better than you just being a demo trader. So my stop loss is gonna be below this low, below this fair value gap here. Okay, so far we got a 2R and right. So far, sorry, we got a partial here. And if you guys like my analysis so far, the analysis that I did, if you guys are enjoying my whole live session, I expect to see a thumbs up from you. That will mean that you are supporting my channel, you are supporting what I'm doing here, and I would love to see that. If you guys can do that, I will really appreciate. So price took this high here from 5-minute chart. Now I will minimize my loss in my entry, sorry, stop loss in my entry. Why? Because price already took a major level of buy side liquidity. So if price is reversing right now, it can hit my stop loss. Okay, price went below this fair value gap. I'm gonna close my trade right here. This fair value gap, okay, this fair value gap, now that this fair value gap failed, this fair value gap will work as an inversion. So I want to see price closing a candle's body below this fair value gap, and then we can use this fair value gap as an inversion. So let's see what price does. Yeah, price did close the candle's body. Now we can expect to see lower prices. Look, okay, I'm pointing out an inversion live in front of you. This fair value gap, I want to see this fair value gap working as an inversion. If not, this price will go up and it will go into our original target that was here, this relative equal high. Now I'm gonna wait patiently for my 920 to 930 macro to show up. Then I can execute, and I will execute that trade in my live funds. Okay, if you are wondering, we all are ICT students, right? How am I trading better than you? Because I believe in tape reading. Pushing a button, okay, on demo account on a low probability setup, that's how I build my experience. There was a low probability setup to me, as it was outside of my macro, and you guys saw it. But the breaker block that I outlined in front of you, if you are not experienced, okay, if you are not familiar with the price action and the breaker block model, you won't see it. Trust me, you won't. And most of you here, I believe, didn't saw it. Like this breaker block, lower low, new lower low. This lower low, why this lower low is so significant? From this low to this high, discount is here. Price came down, hit the discount at the same time, okay? Price cleared out these relative equal lows, okay? That's the reason I considered this candle as a breaker block. I skipped all of this price action. I only consider, okay, suppose I'm gonna hide this price action here, okay? The consolidation that price did here, just think it doesn't exist here. This whole price action. So if I'm hiding it, if I'm hiding this whole price action, consider the price action from here, from this low, okay, from this candle. Price closed the candle's body above this breaker block, right? At this candle, price retested this breaker block again. That's the time I told you guys, okay, you guys can enter. And you can see the price ran up. If you are trading on 1-minute chart, that's the 2-hour setup with a stop loss below here, target here, 2-hour easily. Don't trust me? Okay, I'll show it to you. Here, suppose I entered here. Okay, at this fair value gap. At this fair value gap, stop loss below here, target here. Look at that. It's more than 2-hour, 2.82 So on a higher time frame, like a 50-minute chart, it's nothing. This movement is nothing. But here, if you are a scalper like me, that's a lot of money. 3-hour, that's a lot. And you guys saw me managing a trade live in front of you. You guys have been seeing it for like a month right now. So that's also a skill, okay? That comes with experience. How do you know that your trade I will fail before it fails, okay? When price was here, I told you guys that this fair value gap will fail, and it failed. and I closed my trade. All of you, the people who are holding at this candle, price generated emotion inside you. So that's what I don't do. I want to see logic in chart, and if price is presenting the logic that I want to see, only that time I'm gonna hold that trade. So I didn't saw any logic here, but rather price took this equal high here. Price has relative equal high here, okay, but as it took a 5-minute major high and then it ran lower at this candle aggressively, that's the reason I closed it. And you can see price is still reversing towards the sell side. Now, do you guys see a breaker block here? This down close candle, a lot of people will see it as a breaker block without building the logic. Where's your narrative if you are expecting this as a breaker block? We still have relative equal high left. That's a higher high, new higher high that price generated. I will not enter in a trade just watching this down close candle. No, that's like only one confirmation. I need more confirmation from price to enter in a trade. When I entered in this trade, how many confirmation did I had? Price took liquidity from this 50-minute fair value gap. Price showed you willingness to get support from bullish order block here. Then this price closed the candle's body above this breaker block, this higher time frame breaker block. That's the time I entered after getting like 3 or 4 confirmation. So the folks who entered in a trade here, they're impulsive. So you should not do that without getting like 3 or 4 confirmation. A setup, folks, it will always be there. Do you guys see me rushing for a setup? No, I'm not doing that. I know when my setup will present itself. If it does not do that, I know that I should wait. That's what I'm doing. So what's going on dollar? If you guys are watching dollar just ran lower from our order block that I outlined. So I'll take you guys in dollar. That's our dollar chart, and if you guys remember me outlining and talking about this order block, right, I told you guys to watch the mean threshold of this order block. What did price did here? Price came up, okay, cleared out the relative equal high here, just as I told you guys. Then it went up, hit the mean threshold of this order block, then it went down. We are not trading dollar, okay, so we don't need precision like we expect on indices. You don't need to be that precise. It hit the mean threshold, then it dropped, and our drawn liquidity right now is this fair value gap, and I'm expecting to see a run into this consolidation here. So I already shared my analysis on dollar with you all before when I started my stream. So yeah, now you are seeing it printing out. Okay, let's look at Dow. Okay, I'm just ignoring Dow, and you can see Dow beautifully respected our breaker block, didn't even came down, respected our CB fair value gap. I think price generated another breaker block inside here, so I will talk about it. I'll talk about the breaker block that price generated on Dow. So that's our stop hunt. If I drop down onto like 1-minute chart, I'll find the setup. Lower low, new lower low, up close candle here becomes our breaker block. Okay, if it looks choppy to you on 1-minute chart, drop down, came up onto the 3-minute chart, these up close candles, outline it, extend it out on time. What do you see? Price came up, closed the candle's body above, okay, and you can say to me that HYDRA price didn't give me a chance to enter on 3-minute chart, then drop down onto the 1-minute chart. Do you see price giving you a chance to enter? Price closed the candle's body above here, right at this candle. At very next candle, you can push the button here, stop loss below the breaker block, target 2R. Price presented to you 2R. Do you guys see now when I say it presents, this breaker block setup present itself every fucking day? You just don't know how to see it, how to watch it, and I'm showing it to you how to watch it with narrative from higher time frame. If you don't have narrative, you will never find it. Okay, it will be hidden just like it is here. Newbies will not see it here. But this setup got activated outside of my macro. This breaker block got activated at 8:51. That's the reason I didn't mention about it. So our drawn liquidity on Dow is this internal buy sell liquidity, but if I measure this candle's wick, okay, I'm gonna do it right now. This candle's wick, where do you see is our consequent encroachment? Our consequent encroachment is coming here, so our price is reversing from here. I don't want to see that. If price is reversing from here, our drawn liquidity will be this old fair value gap. I'm expecting to see a run here, okay, run above here and higher. I'm expecting higher prices on Dow, indices, everything, until we are proven wrong from the price action. Okay, what price is doing here? Suppose I was holding, okay, suppose I'm a holder inside this price fractal. Now my emotion will be like really high. I'm gonna be like, okay, should I close it, should I hold it? I do see relative equal lows, I do see relative equal highs. I'm just like confused. That's what I don't let price to do to me, to make me emotionally high. If I feel it, if I feel that I'm getting emotionally high, I just close my trade. I just wait for the next setup to present itself. We are inside of our macro, not inside of our macro right now. Our macro gets started after 9 minutes, 9:20. Let's look at Ethereum. I told you guys that I'm gonna talk about Ethereum. Okay, on Ethereum, what do you guys see? I'm on 1 minute chart. I'll come up into the 15 minute. We do have relative equal highs up here, right? And if I drop down to the 5 minute chart, relative equal lows, a pennant, price generated a pennant here. Wow, I really do see pennant more than a retail trader. Okay, but I saw pennant getting failed more than it got right. Okay, so that's a pennant. If you're not familiar with pennant, what is a pennant? This is a pennant. Okay, and pennant does work, but the problem with it is like you never know when it will show up, and you never know where you should execute, how you should execute. Okay, that's the problem with retail stuff. They don't know how to time their model, but with ICT he did a magic there. He timed every model there. So that's a pennant. If this pennant is supporting price, I'm expecting to see a run into this fair value gap. And if price still wanna volatile, okay, ideal scenario for me to short will be from this fair value gap. But I already traded this setup, so I'm just gonna watch this setup hitting my target. My target is right here below this relative equal low. So if you are trading, you can find a setup that will short, and target will be 1785.25 on crypto. On Ethereum, that can be your target. Let's see if we can find a setup on Ethereum. Okay, Ethereum is looking good to me, better than the indices, so I might just talk about Ethereum right now. So that's our equal high, relative equal high. I wanna see if these relative equal highs are getting taken out, and the ideal scenario will be for price to hit this fair value gap. Look at Nasdaq. Okay, do you guys see the logic behind me closing my trade early? Do you guys see it? Yeah, it almost feels like I'm using a replay mode, right? I'm back testing. I'm not, I'm doing it live. So that's gonna be our CB. And why I'm considering this fair value gap, why not these relative equal high here? I'm expecting to see price providing liquidity, clearing out all of liquidity, then expand higher. Okay, on the sell side, I want to see that price doing. So I'll keep watching this fair value gap on my other monitor, and if I see a setup inside this fair value gap, I'll talk about it and I'll execute accordingly. Session timing does not work on crypto. Crypto is not bound on time. Okay, So let's see what crypto does. I'm gonna put an alert here. The reason why I like crypto is it's so volatile. It presents a setup better than Indices does. To me, okay, I'm saying to me, not to you. You might find crypto like choppy, a lot of choppiness, because you don't know how to avoid these things. It's not choppy at all. It's beautiful. Look at that. That's a IOFED. That's a fair value gap. Price came up, hit this fair value gap, consolidated, then dropped. Okay, that's a beautiful trade idea here. A trend continuation trade, a breaker block. Okay, that's a breaker block here on lower time frame. I already showed you guys the higher time frame breaker block. Price closed the candle body below, came up, retested, filled this fair value gap. That's a unicorn. That's why I sold 2R easily mad. With this volatility, you are getting done in like just 5 minutes. If I take you guys on the daily chart, the folks who join later in my stream, why I like so much crypto. Look at that. On higher time frame, on the daily time frame, price generated a breaker block. Price came up, closed the candle body below the breaker block, came up, retested this breaker block, then it's dropping beautifully. You don't see this kind of price action on indices. You do see this kind of price action on crypto. Then price respected breaker block before, lower low, new lower low, up close candle breaker block, closed the candle body above, came down, retested this zone. 2R from here easily. 2R from any of the price fractal here. Okay, so why I'm using daily chart and I'm marking daily breaker block. I'm a scalper, so I'm not trading any of these here because it helps me to build my narrative. Okay, if I'm seeing price respecting a higher time frame narrative, I know I'm gonna be bullish for a long time, and I was bullish. I'm still bullish. Okay, and I told you guys on Telegram that I'm not gonna short before Bitcoin reaches to like 32,000. Yeah, so that's my long-term bias. If you guys are asking me, I'm bullish long-term on crypto. I'm expecting to see price coming up in 32,000 and then dropping. And why I'm using Ethereum, okay, someone here asked me, do you guys see any higher high here? I do see a breaker block here, but no higher high. That's the reason I'm not using Bitcoin. Rather, on if you are looking at like on Ethereum, you do see higher high, new higher high, then a clean breaker block. If you guys are using SHIB, okay, I'm not trading there. SHIB, I find it a little bit confusing. The drawn liquidity on SHIB is below these lows here. So if you guys are trading there, okay, I'm just watching this pair. I don't like this pair at all, but it's something to watch, something to build my experience, so I'm watching it. So it's for those who are trading on like this SHIB pair. Our drawn liquidity is below this low. Price is inside this fair value gap. I'm not expecting to see a run from this fair value gap here. Rather, I'm expecting to see SHIB taking out this this low here. If it's reversing, okay, it can come up to this fair value gap, feel it, and then drop. That's what I'm expecting on SHIB. Let's go back to our old charts. Ethereum, sorry, even Nasdaq. Okay, do you guys see it? Price reversed. So we are getting inside of our macro 920. Okay, let's see if price gets support from this breaker block again. Okay, if it does that, I'm gonna push the button again, and that will be my last trade for today. So that's the 15-minute breaker block, so I'm gonna mention the time here. And inside this breaker block, okay, all of these up close candles are our breaker block. So like this, inside this breaker block, we do have this fair value gap. So let's wait and see if price still wanna get volatile after coming down here. this fair value gap. The ideal scenario will be for price to come down and hit this fair value gap and then going towards the buy side. As we are inside of our macro, let's see price present me a setup that I can take. A lot of relative equal highs, right? And a relative equal high here, so let's wait for a setup to present itself and then we can push the button. Okay, so price just came down, retested this breaker block, and it's just going up, right? Without providing me a setup. Without doing what I wanted to see it do. So price came up, retested this breaker block, and then it's just going towards the buy side again. I'm still gonna wait. Okay, I'm willing to let this trade go. But let's see on lower time frame if I can find a setup. Okay, there's a beautiful rejection in price, but price just left without giving me a chance to enter. So I'm just gonna watch this trade paint out rather than pushing any button. Target will be this relative equal high right now. Okay. So I did saw a trade idea here. So the trade idea will be something like this, but price already left without giving me a chance to enter. So I'm just gonna skip this trade. Suppose I did took this trade, my stop loss will be below this low here, something like this. Target this high, equal high, or below this swing low. Right, so let's see if price does what we are expecting. I didn't got a chance to push the button. Ideal scenario, I was waiting for an ideal scenario. I was waiting for this fair value gap, price coming down, hitting this fair value gap inside this breaker block. That would have been like a BPR. Fair value gap here, fair value gap here. So yeah, that's what I wanted to see, but it didn't happen anyway. 9:30, there's a lot of volatility that are gonna be coming in. So let's see what it does. Like a lot of newbies right now, they will not accept these candles as a breaker block. Okay, I really don't care. If you are not like using these candles as a breaker block, you can already see price respected my analysis, as I did show to you guys that these up close candles are a breaker block from higher time frame, not from the lower time frame. Eric is saying, will you be sharing crypto macro with us at some point when I launch the mentorship? That's when I'm gonna share, because that's something no one in this industry found out. Okay, crypto macros, I'm not gonna be sharing with you all for free, but I already shared one macro with you all. The macro, it starts from 12 It lasts till 2 o'clock, 12 p.m. till 2 p.m. There's a macro inside that zone that I use on crypto. So if you guys are interested in that, you can find it out by yourself. Once I launch the mentorship, then I will share the macros on crypto. So that's a fair value gap. Okay, if price is coming down, that will be our last line of defense. So your stop loss is below the swing low. 925. I'm expecting to see 930 Judah swing to happen towards the buy side. Maria is saying no trades for me for a few days now. Maybe I'm being too picky, but in the middle of a challenge and would rather be patient. Yeah, I'm patient, Maria. I only took like 2 trades this week, and I'm very selective in my trades, as you see, Maria. Like if a price is not presenting me a setup, I'm not rushing and pushing the button, just like I did here. I watched this trade, and I'm expecting to see a run above these relative equal highs, but yeah, price didn't give me a chance to enter just as I expected to see. So I'm just gonna watch this trade to paint out. There's gonna be a level where we can take a partial. Holding your capital is also trading, okay? Eric is asking, thank you, you are welcome, bro. Mentorship details versus YouTube mentorship details. It's on YouTube. What I launched for $5 is not a mentorship, okay? Just for you all like to see supporting me. And the chat window before, it was getting a lot messy, so I wanted to hide my chat from the retail traders, but now it's good, okay? So I think I'm gonna continue doing the YouTube mentorship for $5 forever, but the real mentorship that I'm gonna launch, there you will see me teaching you everything that I know. Right now I don't take you like when I'm doing the live stream, that's the only time you guys are hearing me talking. But when I launch the mentorship, I'll only do YouTube live stream occasionally, not that often. So that's the level you want to take a partial. Okay, if you are in this trade, you want to close it, okay? Because that's a relative equal high, price came up, provided liquidity here, so it can reverse, okay? So you guys saw me outlining another setup. I didn't push the button, but I outlined the setup to you, and it painted out beautifully. That's gonna be the second trade today that I shared with you all. I shared with you all, but I didn't push the button. I didn't got the chance to push the button in my live funds. The price action that I'm seeing here is not favoring me to push the button, but I'm tape reading, okay? I'm building my experience. Once the price action becomes clear, I'll make a hell lot of money, and you all will just watch. So that's what I know for sure, because you don't have the experience. You don't know how to build the experience. I know how to do that. And if you guys are still enjoying my commentaries, my tape reading, can I expect to see a like from you? Can I expect to see that? 400 people watching, only 200 likes. Can we get to 300 likes? Folks, can we do that? I shared my bias with you all. I shared the whole freaking analysis that I did on dollar. Everything was logical. I told you that I'm looking for longs today. I didn't stop there. I explained why I'm looking for longs, how I'm looking for longs, when I'm looking for longs, everything in details. Who does that, folks, for free? So if you're appreciating it, thumbs up the like button, okay? So as price is going towards the buy side, where can we expect to see it go? This inversion here. That's a target that I shared with you all. And on Dow, okay, let's look at Dow. Dow. Okay, Dow delivered our drawn liquidity, this internal buy side liquidity. I told you guys that that's the drawn liquidity I'm watching. Price delivered it beautifully. I'm expecting to see a reversal right now in price. I'm still expecting higher price action, but I do see relative equal lows. So right now our drawn liquidity will be this fair value gap on 50-minute chart. That's a fair value gap that you see. I'm expecting a run into here, price taking out this level, then it can go higher. Okay, look at Nasdaq. That's the reason I picked Nasdaq to trade today. If you are here since the beginning, you know why I picked it and price it, the inversion. If you guys were here when I started my stream, you know I outlined this inversion to you before price came all the way up here. Do you guys remember me talking about this inversion as our drawn liquidity today? How did I predicted price coming up here? If you guys remember, I told you that's our dealing range from this high, this low, dealing range, price is inside here. I measured it, okay? Like this. Where's our optimal trade entry zone? Where's our OTE zone? 0.62 is here, 0.79 is here. That's the level from where we expect to see price reversing. And inside here, do we have any fair value gap? No. Inside here, do you see a failed fair value gap? Yes, an inversion is here. And you can see the price came up, hit this inversion, then coming down, which is inside of our optimal trade entry. Isn't it beautiful when you watch this thing printing out live in front of you? I can talk about this optimal trade entry in hindsight, and I can make like hours of video by doing that, but will it be beneficial to you? No. When you watch it live printing, that's when it's gonna be beneficial. That's when you will feel like you are learning something. Okay, in hindsight, everyone can be a master, everyone can be a mentor, but in real price action, very few can do that. And that's from where you learn the most. So this inversion, I'm expecting to see this inversion supporting price towards the sell side. If it's not doing that, suppose this inversion is getting failed, then our drawn liquidity will be this high and this relative equal highs here. But that's our optimal trade entry zone, okay? And we are getting inside, we are going inside of our next macro, 950 to 1010. That's another macro where price presents a breaker block setup. Okay, to retail, they don't know why price is just stopping here and consolidating. Okay, why price rejected from here, they don't know that. We know it. That's our optimal trade entry zone. Like retail, we don't take one level from Fibonacci to consider it as an optimal trade entry. Okay, the way we ICT trader use optimal trade entry is like this. We consider both of these levels as our optimal trade entry, and from inside these levels we expect to see a reversal from 0.6 to 0.79. okay, these two zones are our optimal trade entry. If you are using Fibonacci, you already know that it's like this. Okay, but the retails, they only use one level to see it as a OTE, but we don't. Sheikh Ghazi is saying masterclass in tape reading today, brother. We do it every day, brother. It's not today is not exceptional. If you are here since the beginning, and I know that. So yeah, we do it every day. It's not like something new that we are doing here, and we don't do any hindsight. Everything is live in printing. Candlestick. FX Cartel is saying we dropping hard. We are not dropping hard. It's just consolidating inside of our optimal trade entry level. There's no like trade that I see here other than only one confirmation from optimal trade entry, and then this another confirmation from this inversion. And this price action that's happening right now, it's not inside my macro, so I'm not gonna look for a setup. But as you can see, look at the precision, folks. Look at the precision here. Price came up, okay, The inversion that I outlined on 50-minute chart. Look at the candle's body. Look where they stopped. Price came up, filled this inversion. Completely it filled it. The wicks that you see, just ignore that. Wicks are here to do the manipulation. Okay, so wicks went up, candle's body inside the inversion, so that becomes a strong level. Okay, I don't want to see price coming up again and going above this inversion. I don't want to see that if it want to remain heavy towards the sell side. And on sell side, do we have target? We do have this low, this fair value gap from the higher time frame. Okay, from 50-minute I guess, or maybe from 3-minute. Yeah, this unfilled fair value gap from 3-minute that comes in discount. So yeah, I'm expecting lower prices right now. Let's see how price does it, and if price is presenting us any setup inside our macro 950 to 1010, I'll talk about it, I'll take it. But right now I'm preferring to sit still. Let's look at Dow. Okay, Dow, wow, look at this movement here. Did we had a news? No news. I think that was a low impact news or something like this. Okay, so we didn't had any news. So what's the logic behind that movement? Wow, look at this week on Dow. On 5-minute chart, price generated a big freaking week. And it also generated a breakout block, higher high, new higher high, after price took a major level of buy side liquidity. Okay, when I was talking about Dow, I told you guys that that's our drawn liquidity. Price took it. I told you guys I'm expecting to see price dropping. That's our drawn liquidity right now, this 50-minute fair value gap. And on 1-minute chart, you can see price generated a breakout block at 916. Price generated a breakout block. Price activated this breakout block at 930. And price came back up to this breakout block, retested this breakout block, and it's now dropping again. But it's not an ideal trade setup for me. That's the reason I didn't took it. It was inside my macro, but it's something to watch. Okay, so let's watch how price reacts from this breakout block. If it's reacting good, then our drawn liquidity is below these relative equal lows on Dow. Okay, so Ethereum is also crossing our line, and this breakout block, look at the rejection from this breakout block. Our target can be these relative equal lows right here. So let's see what price does. Okay, so this setup is not inside of our macro, so I'm not gonna take it. It's outside of our macro, but it's something to watch, so I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna tape read it. This relative equal low down here is gonna be our drawn liquidity. Let's drop down to the 5-minute chart, and if I measure this candle's wick, okay, if I measure it, then the consequent encroachment of this wick is coming here. I don't want to see price rejecting from the consequent encroachment of this candle, of this wick. I want to see it remaining heavy towards the sell side. That's the consequent encroachment of this week, and I want to see price reaping through this level here and delivering towards this level on Dow. Don Milan is saying, HYDRA, which premium PD arrays would you prefer to see for a high probability entry? I know there are many, but what are your top three? Okay, the top three. First one, I will put the BPR. That's the first one. Second one, without a BPR, a inversion. That's the second. The third one will be a volume imbalance. The fourth will be a break order block. Okay, so that's what I don't like to see on price right now. I don't want to see price rejecting from this consequent encroachment. I want to see price reaping through this. So price algo chose to present breaker block outside of my macro today, huh? Look at the 5-minute chart. How price is respecting this consequent encroachment of this candle's wick. Yeah, that's the best thing with the macro, Reggie. It builds the discipline, okay? So it took a long time for me to build my discipline like this. It didn't just happen like in one day after I got the macro. Not even like a month. I was taking these setups outside of my macro, and you can see that outside of my macro, price presents as a setup, but it's not as clean as we expect to see inside of our macro. Yeah, price movement inside the macro is the best. Outside of macro, price consolidate like this. And when it does consolidate like this, I'm not a saint, okay? I'm not someone who don't feel emotion. So suppose I took this trade. Here, I fucking hell, I'll get emotional. In this choppiness, I'll be like, okay, if I push the button, I maybe I did something wrong and all that stuff. But when I'm pushing the button inside my macro, even if my trade idea is getting failed, I'm not like getting emotional. So yeah, that was a like a good run from this 1-minute breaker block. Price respected this breaker block, and that's a very good run. Okay, our draw on liquidity is this low. As I told you guys that I want to see this consequent encroachment getting failed, and it failed. So let's look at NQ. So NQ just came up, hit this inversion again, and then dropping. Like so inversion matters, okay? So when I outlined this inversion, when price came up into this inversion, I told you guys, watch it. I'm outlining an inversion in front of you live, and look at this inversion. Isn't it beautiful? Isn't it learnable? That's the thing, okay? You can learn from this stream, from my streams. When I pointed out this inversion before price came up here, I shared the logic with you, why I'm expecting to see a run lower from this inversion, why I'm not expecting to see a run higher, and if price still, if this inversion fails to provide support towards the sell side, I also told you guys what can we expect. Okay, now the price generated a 15-minute big wick here. Okay, let's see. Let's measure this candle's wick. And let's see how price reacts, if it wanna react from the consequent encroachment of this big wick, which comes inside below our inversion, okay? So this candle's consequent encroachment will be our last line of defense to expect lower prices. So US100 choppy to me. US30 setup is here, but it's before our macros, so yeah, choppy to me too. US30. I think today price will not give me any setup to execute, right? Anyway, it's okay. I might find the setup on crypto. So Ethereum, Ethereum looking good, you know. Ethereum did hit our fair value gap just as I expected, cleared out the relative equal highs here. Okay, so that's a CB. I told you guys that there will be an ideal scenario for price to reverse. Price came up, hit this 3-minute fair value gap. Okay, 3-minute time frame is the unicorn. Don't believe me? Use it. Do it by yourself. You don't have to believe me. 3-minute time frame, price came up inside of 3-minute fair value gap. On 5-minute there was a fair value gap. 15-minute fair value gap. But where's the precision inside the 3-minute time frame? So higher high, new higher high, 1-minute time frame. Let's drop down to the 1-minute time frame. Before I do so, I'm gonna mark the breaker block from the 3-minute. Okay, don't do that. Don't leave without taking me. Really? Okay, she just left. Okay, that's our breaker block. So let's see on crypto if price is presenting me a setup, and I can take it if price does that. Okay, so crypto came up. I'm inside of the crypto. Stop loss will be above this breaker block, and I can target. Where can I target? I can target where? I can target this low, this candle's body. I'll take a partial in this unfilled fair value gap. That's a good level for me to take a partial. US30, I'm also looking at US30. Our drawn liquidity on US30, you guys know it's on 33 173. That's our drawn liquidity. So this unfilled fair value gap is where I'm gonna take a partial. BC unfilled 5-minute. One-minute chart again. 1-minute chart. When I tell you guys, okay, when you have the skill, you can trade on any pair. It doesn't matter. You can build a narrative even on crypto, just like I'm doing right now. I'm just gonna let this trade run. I do see it as a clean setup, so I'm just gonna put my limit here. This is a demo account, by the way. I'm trading on crypto with Qcoin. If you guys are interested in that, you can check them out. They're not promoting me, they're not paying me to say their name. I'm just telling because I use them. Their spreads are good, leverage is good, all good, so you can check them out. So I can take a partial here with a 5 contract off inside this unfilled fair value gap. I'm expecting to see a run here, and run happen. Done. Partial done. Do you guys see why I like crypto? Look at that. Partial done. My stop loss will be right now here. Even if price is coming up and taking me out, very less that I care. So on Dow, the drawn liquidity hit the price here. So here on crypto, you just saw me executing on a 2.8 hour trade, okay? That's a beautiful trade. That was a beautiful trade. And just as I told you, tell you guys that if your narrative is correct with a breaker block setup, you will get done in just like 2 minutes. This setup here gave me like a partial in just a couple of seconds, and it's gonna hit my TP in just 3 minutes. Eyes, you need experience for that, okay? I have the extra vision, you don't have it, so build it, okay? Look at that rejection. I didn't found a setup on Indices, but I found it on my own chat on crypto. Do you guys like it? If you like it, hit the thumbs up button. I wanna see you do that. Look at Dow. Look at Dow. I think Nasdaq is doing the same. Yeah, look at Indices. Nasdaq. Bias, real-time bias. I'm teaching you how to predict the real-time bias. When price was here, I told you that from this inversion, price can drop. So that was a bias that I was sharing. So now the price moved in my favor. I'll put my stop loss in my entry above this bearish order block. So on Indices, I told you guys that our drawn liquidity on Nasdaq. What did I told you? Our draw on liquidity on Nasdaq, and price just hit my TP on Ethereum. Aditya, you won't, what you were asking me, I understand that you were rushing the process. You won't understand it in just a couple of days. After a couple of days, you will have to spend months with charts. I'm not coming here to get humble. Varinder, Bajwa, so you are blocked, right? Do you like it? I'm not expecting you to watch my stream anymore ever in future, okay? I'm not here to get fucking humble, okay? What's the humble here? If you don't know something, I'm of course gonna say to you, you don't know it. That's why you didn't see it. You don't have the experience. If it's hurting you, then that's good. You don't have it. I have it, okay? I have the experience. And I'm willing to flex on that, okay? Anyway, so let's go back to our original pair, our Nasdaq chart, okay? Nasdaq no setup. We are inside of our macro. Let's see from where we can reverse, okay? This is our 4-hour breaker block. This is our 4-hour breaker block, and if I take you guys into the 4-hour chart, you will see it. That's the breaker block. So let's see if price gets support from this breaker block again. Let's see if price does that, and if it does that, we can look for a trade idea. I'm already up in profit, so I don't care. So let's see if price is reversing from this fair value gap, okay? This fair value gap, I was considering this fair value gap as it's inside of our optimal trade zone. What is the optimal trade zone? From this high to this low, if you measure it, the optimal trade entry will come somewhere here. So let's see if price reverse from this fair value gap or not. If it does that, we do see relative equal highs here. We can target that. let's drop down to the 1 minute. Okay, I'm already in 1 minute chart. 15 minute. This is the fair value gap on 15 minute. Let's say price goes above this fair value gap again in the 50-minute chart. This drop on the same drop on Dow was beautiful because it respected our breaker block. This is the breaker block. Price respected this beautiful drop from this breaker block here. And on Dow, price also did hit our fair value gap inside of our higher time frame breaker block. That's our higher time frame breaker block, 50-minute chart. The folks who are with me since the beginning, they already know that I outlined it to you. The folks who are in my YouTube membership, they know that I shared this analysis with them. So that's the ideal scenario, but it's way volatile than I like to see. This is a BC. Price came down, filled it. Now it's going up. So the rejection price got from this fair value gap, which is inside our 50-minute breaker block on Dow. I think I'm done for today. I think this price action will go lower. So that's it for today, folks. I came here to make money. I did it on crypto. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about the trade that I took on crypto. Okay. The narrative, okay. I just didn't push the button in front of you without a narrative. I built the narrative and you guys saw me how I did that. Okay. Price was dropping on Ethereum, right? This drop was happening from our daily breaker block. The folks who are on my private membership, YouTube membership, they already know that I outlined this setup to them. When price was here, then this whole candle, okay, it provided me 2 hours this freaking morning, and then again today another 2 hours. So I'm up by like 4 hours in my live funds. So basically I'm done for today. So I'm just gonna go over the trade that I took here. So this was the CB, okay? This was the CB. Why I was considering this CB? Why not here? If you measure this price action from this low to this high, optimal trade entry is inside here, inside this CB. So this CB is in premium. That's the premium PD array, okay? Price came up, hit the premium PD array on 3-minute chart. Do you see a breaker block? These down close candles, okay, when I mark a breaker block, this breaker block will also have to generate a swing low or swing high, okay? So the swing low is visible on the 1-minute chart. 3-minute chart is not visible like that, it's not clear, but on 1-minute chart is visible. Higher high, new higher high, this high. Why is this high so significant to me? Because this high hit the premium fair value gap, okay? Price don't need to come all the way up, hit the midway of this fair value gap. You don't need to do that. If it's coming up and hitting it here, that's okay. Price hit it here, price just tapped into this fair value gap. That's IOFED, okay? Institutional order flow entry drill. And price came up, hit this here. That's our breaker block. These down close candles. Price closed the candle's body at this candle. At this very candle I entered, okay? When price retested, don't trust me, go back in my live stream and you will watch it. Here I entered here, stop loss was above here, price then just ran towards the sell side, okay? That's the place where I took the partial. Why did I took a partial here? Because that was an unfilled fair value gap, okay? You never know. I'm not the algo, okay? I'm not controlling price, so I'll pay myself in levels where I believe price can reverse. So price came down, okay? I took a partial inside here because price can reverse from this fair value gap. I don't know. I see the drawn liquidity, which was below this candle's low. Okay, below this pennant low. Okay, so my TP was here, partial here, beautiful 2-hour trade, done for the week. Maybe I may do a live stream tomorrow and on Friday, but it will depend on my, if I want to do it, I'll do it. You guys will see me. So that's it for today. If you guys enjoyed it, I expect to see a thumbs up from you. Can we do 300? Okay, it's 296 likes that I see. Can we do 300? After that, I'm gonna close. Aditya is saying, bro, ICT told us about the 10 to 11 a.m. silver bullet macro. Okay, Ethereum just hit the drawn liquidity that I shared with you all this morning. This was our drawn liquidity. Okay, from the daily chart. A lot of execution that you see here. These are old execution that I did in my streams. So a lot of wins. Okay, on crypto, if you guys go back and watch my crypto streams that I did only 2. You guys will see me winning there. All win, winner. Okay, live in live price action. So that was our drawn liquidity below this relative equal low. When I started my stream, I mentioned that price just met it. So I'm just gonna wait and see how price behaves right now. I'm not gonna push the button anymore. And that's it for today, folks. That's it for today. I'll catch you guys probably tomorrow or maybe on Friday, as we have a high impact news. So we might watch it together. That's it for today. Take care and peace.